you don't have to. The little world away is streaming live. Models and projects coming alive. A car crash maybe with a mug of Kraken. Stand by for laughs and let's get frantic. Let's get frantic. I've got two dachshunds who love to bark and a resin cube around a shark. Hello, Christian from Grantham. I hope you love my new anthem. The world away is streaming live. Models and projects coming alive. A car crash maybe with a mug of Kraken. Stand by for laughs and let's get frantic. Let's get frantic. Let's get frantic. Let's get frantic. Let's get frantic.
You know, those beeps come on the they come on the countdown clock. See, I thought that Steve's Adventures was imagining it, and obviously Scott is hearing beeps as well. And there's definitely beeps on that thing. It's something I added deliberately now. But you know, you could play around by thinking that it is in your head. All cool. But well done for Peter in Queensland, Australia, for getting Firestarter. It was Firestarter, but I just thought it was classic that you were all on the same theme. We had Solaris, we had all sorts of fire things going on. Someone thought Firestarter was a song. You mean, I'm a Firestarter, Twisted Firestarter. Nah, I was thinking of the film with little old Drew Barrymore. This big she was. But as you can see tonight, I'm in the workshop because it's just, I need the aircon. Today on my thermometer out there, it went above 40 degrees. I'm guessing probably 37, 38. It's going to be about 100 degrees Fahrenheit here today. And we don't have aircon in the UK, so we've all been cooking. So tonight, I thought I'm going to have a nice Whitstable Bay 4% alcohol. Whitstable Bay Ale. That's what I've got tonight from the Faversham Brewery. So, and I've only had a mouthful, and you see how bladdered I am already. So the good thing about tonight is I'm doing it from the workshop. I've had a little bit of a move around here. I've lost the fridge. The fridge is now gone. I don't need it anymore because I've got a big American fridge in the house. So the Dalek's under there now. I've got space for the Dalek, which is cool. Anyone watching the Lich King live, that's all fixed as well. So that's what's been going on here. But I've got to address some things I saw in chat. Someone said about doing the, it was Adam. When am I going to do the Toyota Supra? Well, I've got 3 boxes of the Toyota Supra here and 1 on the way. So I'm 4 boxes behind. I'm definitely getting back on that next week. Jeff Gordon's NASCAR, that's next week as well. And I don't play Genshin Impact, but my daughter does. So I don't know what I can tell you about that. What I can tell you, though, talking about Genshin Impact, anime and all that thing, if you remember, for the last 4 years, I've been going to MCM Comic Con. I absolutely love it. So there's 2 events in May and 1 in October. And I'm a creator for the events. They invite me along to promote the event. So I've been having a field day with that, except for May, when for some reason they declined me as a creator, and I don't know why that was. So I was like, oh, so I did what anyone do, and I thought, well, my kids want to go, so I'll pay just as a normal person, and I will go to that. But it was such a pleasure not having to film things. I wasn't filming, I didn't have to promote. I could just be there and relaxing and all of that. Well, me being a glutton of punishment, October is the next MCM Comic Con, and I applied again, and they accepted me again. So I am a creator at MCM Comic Con. So I'm going to be there on the 23rd to the, when is that? The 23rd to the 25th of October. I haven't even put it in my calendar yet. So yeah, I'm going to be at MCM. So if anyone wants to come along and say hi, there's probably about 80,000 people there. And if you can find me, perhaps I'll walk around with a Velociraptor on me. Because around about that sort of time, I'm guessing we're going to have the Ford Explorer coming out. So we need to get some Jurassic Park theming going on. Talking about films. Before this stream started tonight, as you know, I've been building up my 4K collection. I've got the 4K of Raiders of the Lost Ark. And I didn't realise in Raiders of the Lost Ark that the submarine that he swims to is a U-96 U-boat. Did you know that? Now, it's classed as a U-26 in the film. It's actually a U-96 U-boat. In fact, it's the U-96 U-boat that was used in Das Boot. I believe, who did that? Was that Wolfgang Peterson? Whoever directed that film lent it to Spielberg to film the Raiders of the Lost Ark. I didn't realise that. And then, obviously, I didn't realise, I went down a rabbit hole then. I didn't realise that where Indiana Jones has got the rocket launcher pointed at the Ark, and they're, you know, walking through ready for the final scene, I didn't realise that canyon is the same canyon that the Jawas were in when R2-D2 is walking through there. And then I was like, George Lucas, Wayne, you're so stupid. So I've been having one of these epiphany days today. I've been learning stuff. Been absolutely learning stuff. There will be adverts at the moment, Darren. I can't do anything for the first 10 minutes, unfortunately. So that's that. Also, Mrs. World of Wayne is actually sitting out there. So when I'm doing my stream tonight, I can actually see Mrs. World of Wayne. But I'm seeing 3 of Mrs. World of Wayne tonight because I happen to be joined by 2 of her sisters. So there's 3 of the Brand family over here. So I've got to be on best behaviour tonight. Otherwise, I'm going to be getting it on 3 barrels from Esther and her sisters. So it's all cool. There's I am the only testosterone in the house. So, you never know. We might be talking about boys or stickers or ribbons or, I don't know, plaiting hair or something by the end of the night. We'll have to see. What else have I got? I wrote a list tonight. I wrote a list. Sorry, my monologue keeps going on and on, doesn't it? So MGM Creators. Okay, this chair, absolutely game changer. I've finally got a chair which I can feel is going to be sturdy and is going to actually last me. Now, I wasn't joking. If you've watched my channel since, God, when I started in 2015, I've gone through about 10 gaming chairs. And the company Boolies have sent me this one. Now, I would give you a link saying, check out, I mean, you can check out the Boolies website there. That's how it's spelled. To say, check out this chair. But it's so new, it's not even on the website yet. This is called the Master Rex. R-E-X, Rex. Master Rex 2026 is coming out. It's all singing, all dancing. The thing I like about this is about that big, wider than my normal chair. So I can sit cross-legged on the chair. And it's got all the mod cons. It reclines. It's got a stool underneath which I can rest my legs. These go up and down. But it feels sturdy. So I'm hoping this is going to last. And I have done a video for this. So I've filmed it. I haven't edited it yet. So when I've had a bit more of a chance to get used to it. So because I don't really like telling you about chairs if I don't think I'm going to be supporting them. I think this is a really good chair. Give it a couple more weeks. I want to get some use out of it. I'll edit it up and then I'll put it on the channel. And you'll be able to see. Absolutely lovely. Mrs. World of Wayne's been sitting in this as well. So if it's got a Mrs. World of Wayne endorsement, it must be good. Second thing is, let's go over to the workshop cam. We don't normally do this in here. Partwork Upgrades have sent me something. Now, I understand that they've got a Bruce Shark on their site or coming soon. But Ian sent me these a couple of weeks ago, but obviously I've been away. These are the chum barrels, I believe. And, of course, I haven't opened them. Oh, God, this is going to be a challenge. Perhaps I should have done this before the stream. So I thought, let's open these live on here. There you go. So we can see what they look like. Now, oh, wow, look at this. So you've got the chum barrels, and look, it's got the fish in there. Look how cool that is. Can you see that? So these are available on the Partwork Upgrade site. So you've got 2 of these chum barrels. I like that. That's cool. You know what? I think they're real fish. Is Ian in here? They smell salty. Are these real fish? Hang on a second. Whoa. Hang on. They smell salty. Is that real fish? Look at that. Oh my God. Okay. And then we've got a couple of saucepans here as well. Looking just like that. So obviously, the next Orca, I believe, is coming out towards the end of the month. Looking forward to that. We've just done pack 7. Now, I'm not going to be weathering mine up anymore until the whole thing's put together, because everything that's once it's together, I can get to. I've got no plans to have the flying bridge taken off, just so you know. But I've had some ideas of what I want to do, but I don't know if anyone's seen, but Agora Models have actually released on their site the video of us in Martha's Vineyard. So I'm putting a link in chat for that, so you can watch it after this stream. Don't watch it now. But if you want to know the sort of things we got up to, here is a little teaser. Sea looks welcoming. Don't think I want to go in that though, for obvious reasons, because Martha Vineyard is covered in a shadow. That shadow in the shape of a shark. The main crossroad here is the intersection of Main Street and Water Street. It still looks very similar, although the interior for the hardware store was actually filmed elsewhere. Now I went, that's just a little snippet. You have to watch the whole video. I said I put the link in chat there. Now I've done all the thing about the around Edgartown and filming locations, and Celine and Tom did some of the other locations like the Jaws Bridge. They covered the event we were at as well, the Return to Amity event. It was really good, and there was a surprise guest that turned up. Check the video out. I'm going to give you spoilers, no spoilers for that, so you can have a look at that. But it was a much enjoyable time. Thoroughly enjoyed that. We did have, look, Lou with his partial eclipse of the heart. We had an eclipse here yesterday. Now the eclipse was only 93%, something like that here. I think Cornwall had slightly more. You needed to be sort of Madrid and Barcelona, Mallorca way to see the full eclipse, but we got to see a good thing. I didn't have any eclipse glasses, they're all sold out, but what I did have, Lou sent me a book of film cells, you know, like the coloured cells. Because I use them all the time now, thank you Lou, I had some A4 film cells, and I didn't realise if I put like 10 of them together and look through it, oh my god, the image was amazing of the sun and the moon going across. Couldn't get a picture. I tried for the, I tried really hard on my phone to get a picture. I couldn't get a picture, but really good. Got really dark here. It was enjoyable. So I enjoyed my partial eclipse experience. Although I did see the full eclipse in 1999, so I have experienced one. If you want to see an eclipse for yourself, this time next year, it's in Giza in Egypt. So where the pyramids and Luxor, all around that area, they're going to have the eclipse. So book your hotels now, because I guarantee those hotel prices are going to go through the roof. Because the amount of people of interest this had, although saying that, it seemed to have been sprung on people. I reckon, but at the beginning of the week, no one had a clue there was an eclipse this week. It's crazy. It's only in the last couple of days that everyone was like, we got an eclipse, and try. That's why there was a run on eclipse glasses. Pretty crazy stuff. Is that everything on my list? Stand by. Geez, that's everything on my list. I've done well tonight. That's pretty cool, isn't it? I have been working pretty good on getting everything done. I'm just looking what I've got here. It's the Toyota Supras. The Toyota Supra, the Jeff Gordon, and I know people are going to keep pulling me up on this damn Titanic and the Apache. We'll get onto them. At the moment, though, as I said, I'm trying to do short bite-sized things because I've been so busy, but that's starting to alleviate off. I said towards the end of August, September, that's not going to be an issue anymore. There is one thing, though. On the, let me just get my calendar up. Is it the 28th, 27th, 28th, which is a Thursday and a Friday, I believe, of August. I'm going to be joined probably in the retro room, unless it's really hot, and then we're back down here, but by my good friend Russell. I don't know if you remember Russell. He was my friend forever who I worked at Blockbuster with, and we're going to have some fascinating more stories about our life in the video industry, I guess, and what we got up to in the 80s and 90s. Funny guy, normally ends up a drunken stupor at the end of the stream, but we'll have to see how that goes. That's going to be the stream towards the end of the month. I'm sure there's one other thing. I would normally advertise the Sprueverse Challenge, which is coming on the 25th of September, but I haven't got it on my computer here because I'm downstairs and that's on the upstairs computer. So there. How is everybody? Sorry, I've been talking for England again. Tomorrow on the channel, just so you know, it's the John Wick Mustang. John Wick Mustang's on the channel tomorrow. So, yeah, check that out. Yes, the beeps are definitely added. What is going on with chat tonight? Wow, you know what? I didn't think anyone was in chat. And then suddenly, chat just opened up. By the way, just housekeeping. Camera's here. Your chat is here. So if you see me looking away, so I'm not getting bored. This is the layout, unfortunately, so I have to look over here to see the chat. As a matter of fact, I could probably change that. If I put that there and move that there, you're not seeing any of this. But what it does mean is that now when I look at chat, I'm just looking here. very rude looking all the way over there, I think. But yeah, I'm surprised more people didn't get Firestarter, I have to say. I haven't seen that film for ages, though. Hello, Christian from Grantham. Christian, now, even though I'm in the workshop tonight, I think I can still go.
Let's give it up big time. Hello, Christian from Grantham. Now let's get cracking.
There you go, Christian. See, I've got the main assets, the ones that count. Although I should have had the Sprueverse challenge. I'm kicking myself for that. Yep, Lou got fight. Lou, I'm surprised you didn't get that before the stream started. You know, the whole sharing the same brain cell thing? It was toying with you. That's why you were mentioning things like Solaris and stuff like that. Yeah, fire was in your mind. Hey, when are you going to work on some of the Gundam models? That's a damn good point. You know, I've got like... They're all behind me. They're all here. Look, they're all here. Perhaps we should... Do you like those streams, just out of curiosity? I just don't know if they're... Let me get one out. I don't know if they're everyone's cup of tea. I mean, look at the size of it. That's a nice one, isn't it? We could do a Gundam model. I wanna in the next member stream, I wanna finish this car, which is up here. There can't be long left on it. I want to finish that car because Sterling Kit want to send me an engine that can actually power, as in you put petrol in it and it runs. I think that'll be dangerous, giving me something that can ignite and run power in the workshop. so I don't think I'm going to do that, but I would like to get that one finished. I don't like things that are unfinished. And at the moment, I'm looking at an Apache helicopter up over there. I'm looking at Lilu, which I still haven't painted. The worst one, I've got the Eagle 5 from Cosmic Scale Models, which is over there on my, to-do list. And I am falling behind. I really need to get back on with it. Really. Hi, Craig. How's it going? You had 40 degrees Celsius here in Czech Republic. Dry heat's absolutely overkill. It was hot here. I mean, I still do. Every day I try and do a walk to town and back, which is around about 3.5 to 4 miles. I'm doing great with my Pokemon. By the way, if anyone plays Pokemon Go, they've got, today, you can pick up this is going to go straight over people's heads if you don't play Pokemon Go. You can get a Hundo Mewtwo, and a Hundo Mewtwo, and you can get a Master Ball today as well, just for free. Because it's 10 years since Pokemon Go was created. And me and Mrs. World of Wayne play far too much of it, I'll tell you that now. We're walking around Barcelona, because we had a great time in Barcelona, and we were playing Pokemon Go most of the time. Mike Lane has just given me the extension leads for the Supra. We'll check that out in the next pack. Is it going to need those, Will? Because I haven't even got to that stage yet. I don't know. Is it going to be exactly like the Skyline? Do we need... I'm guessing we probably do if he's made leads, which is cool. But do we know when Mike Lane's DeLorean thing's coming out with the, what we saw, again, on the Agora Plus channel, the roadshow we did where I showed off all the stuff for the DeLorean, because I understand Fan Home have re-released the DeLorean again. So you can get it from scratch, which would be pretty cool. So there's going to be a whole new generation of people who are going to want that flux capacitor. And obviously there was a company who made that. Sorry, I just can't believe these are real fish. There was a company that made... I keep smelling the sea. That's why I stopped then. There was a company who made the flux capacitor and no longer in business, so you won't be able to get one. So I'm hoping Mike might be able to see if that can go ahead. I mean, you don't need it to. I think it's issue 48, was it? I think it was issue 48. I can't remember. We have a spider in our house. I've called him Cotton Eye Joe, as I have two questions. Where did he come from or where did he go? Yeah, well, Dave is not here. Although, to be honest with you, if the aircon's not in here, Dave's probably cooked. I don't know where he is. I tend to find when the weather's been really, really hot, I don't get any life in here. Hence why I've got no plants in here. Although we got a joke in the house at the moment. See, I take care of the garden. It's part of the surname Green. Having a surname Green, I'm the gardener. So I invariably have to take care of the house plants as well, because as I worded it, Esther is the Dexter of the plant world. Plants come here to die. She's like a serial killer when it comes to plants. So, yeah, I have to take care of them. I see Wayne's much beloved Rams. We're playing an NFL exhibition match. They are, Peter. I'm going to be seeing an NFL actual match October 18th, I'm seeing the Texans, I believe. The Houston Texans versus the Jacksonville Jaguars, I think it is. That's going to be at Wembley Stadium, so I'm going to be seeing that. But I have got my Game Pass this year for the NFL. I'm looking forward to that. Did you also get the 4K Blade Runner? No, I still haven't got that yet. I did get... What was the last one I got? What did I pick up? I still didn't get Aliens. What did I see the other day? I'll tell you what, for some reason, all the Marvel films seem to be quite cheap. Captain America, the Avengers, the Guardians of the Galaxy. They're all like £10, £11 here. So I'm probably going to just build that collection up. But I watched Raiders of the Lost Ark. Now I need to get Temple of Doom and Last Crusade. And I don't like the other two, but you know I'm going to buy them because it's part of the set. And I will buy Blade Runner. Because, you know, every now and again, my mum used to say, if you don't like that now, your taste buds will change. So you'll like it when you grow up. Well, perhaps, you know, when I grow up, I might like Blade Runner. It could happen. You know what? When I first saw 2001: A Space Odyssey, I hated the film. I couldn't even get through the film. Now, it's one of my favourite films. So, you know, perhaps taste change. They say that I got The Martian. That's what it was, The Martian. I was watching that. The special edition as well. There are scenes in it I hadn't seen before. They say that Indy plays no role in the outcome of Raiders of the Lost Ark. No, it doesn't. That was on The Big Bang Theory. Das Boot grill film. You know what, Darren? I don't know if it did it on your computer, but it translated on my computer the boat grill film. If you write a foreign language on an English stream, it translates it for me. It's quite fun. Evening, Esther and your sister. Yeah, it's like Hannah and her sisters, but with Esther. Oh, that was random. Other than the US government obtaining said Ark. That's right. And then that Ark seems to have just stayed there for ages, although, you know, it can get infiltrated by the Russians, is it, in Indiana Jones 4, and get broken open, and it's just there. So, you know, when they're tidying that mess up, someone's going to be like, yeah, there's the Ark of the Covenant. Oh. Also, I've got to ask about if Agora is going to make a Porsche Carrera 911 or a GT3. I've got no idea, Adam. Their release schedule. Look, when I'm at Agora, I have offices and I do my own thing there. So things that are in development and stuff, that's someone else's department. I don't get involved in that, which is probably for the best because I don't want to be giving trade secrets and stuff away. So I don't have anything to do with that. Although when they do have an announcement and they show me something, most of the time I'm like, oh, wow. How did this come about? So, you're listening to 100 Fathoms Below. It's about a vampire on the loose on an incapacitated military sub. Wow. That sounds interesting. He did say they have real fish in so you can. Well, when he said real fish, and I'm looking at them, I'm like, oh, what you meant is the 3D printed ones. But then I'm looking at them, and they are real fish. The problem is, yeah, I don't know what type of fish they are. They look like dead neon tetras or dried out neon tetras, which are tropical fish. But, I mean, they look like real fish. They smell like the sea. They don't smell bad. They smell like, you know, you remember you used to get the shells and you used to put them to your ear to hear the sea. You'd smell them and they had that sort of salty smell. They smell like that. They are very good, though. Very good. I'm guessing they're in the scale of the orca. Obviously, there's a far too big for the orca I've got over there. But I am thinking about changing again. Having a change because that orca behind there, it's not going to be able to stay there with the new orca coming. So I was going to lose this whole area here. Where are we? This whole area here. And I was going to paint that completely black. And I was going to put some shelves up there. And I've got a big vinyl which says 007. And I thought we'll have a James Bond wall. British Stream will have a James Bond wall. Because I think that they must be getting close now to announcing the new James Bond. Got no idea, but I'm hoping that that's coming soon because that franchise is going to get lost if it doesn't. They need to do something. Plus the rum making him see double means there's 6 Mrs. Worldways. I'm not on the rum, I'm on the ale. Although I get more drunk on ale than rum, I think I'm starting to build up a tolerance to rum. Which is probably for the best for Wonderfest because, you know what I'm like. Although, if we're having a cocktail afternoon, Lou, when we're at Phil's, then I really do hope you don't expect me to work after that. Because you having me building models after I've had a couple of rums in me? Yeah, that's going to go downhill very quickly. Although it'll make killer entertainment, big time. It's real fishy and not here yet. Oh, it is. Wait, did you see the eclipse yesterday? I did. Well, the partial eclipse. And funny enough, because I had so much of those film cells, I gave them to all the neighbourhood kids. So they're all outside with this film cells looking through looking through at the eclipse, which is pretty funny. I'm thinking about building the 1/6 scale Porsche. Yeah, I saw that 1/6 scale. You know what? It looks lovely, but after building the Mustang, I do think there is a point where models can be too big. Understandable with a Dalek, but with cars, because the Dalek's going to be sort of thing you sit on a floor. Darth Vader's quite big, but he's going to be sitting on a shelf behind my R2 and C3PO. But cars, they're so heavy and they take up so much room. You need a lot of wall space or a big unit, and it's hard to find units that not only are wide enough to hold it, I'm thinking bookshelves, but bookshelves don't really have the width. You need a really deep inset, and that just takes up a big floor print. So I do think 1/6 scale might be a little bit big. Titanic rigging, that is not to be missed. Well, John, you see, the thing that's put me off doing the Titanic at the moment, and I've only got a couple of things to do, that's the front mast and the rigging. Okay, but to do the rigging, you have to put those damn rigging points in. And I really wish we could have done that as we went along, because doing it now, at the end of the build, I'm knocking things all over the place. I can't get a good thing to get the screwdriver in. The thing that holds the little eyelets is just terrible, and it just makes me really depressed. So I just don't want to get on with it. So what I thought I'd do is if I do one stage at a time. Now, I did do stage 135 on the member stream. The general community hasn't seen that yet, and I might put that up on the weekend, actually, because it is going to go up soon. So you can see the hassle that I'm having with those things. Which means I've only got like 5 stages left to do. But those 5 stages are probably going to take longer than every video put on the channel at the moment. We'll have to see. You're going on a barge trip tomorrow. Where are you doing that? Interesting. Hi, Dave. Long time no see. How the devil are you? We're all good here. I'm in the aircon, so I'm all chilling out. Although Mrs. Waldewayne and her sisters is probably cooking out there at the moment. I'm going to end up drunk. Most probably. Most probably. Mainly on account that I don't normally drink too much. Photos and clips from Cornwall Central. Oh, have you? Oh, hang on then. You managed to get photos, Chris? I mean, the good thing is we've had some. Where did you send them to? Right, okay. We had great conditions for an eclipse. If you're going to see an eclipse, you wanna be in the middle of the country's hottest summer on record. Here we go. So I'm going to show these, Chris. Oh wow, look at this. So this is some of Chris's pictures. Can I do this on here? Hang on, monitor cam. There you go. So that's not the monitor though. 1 second. Can we go that one? Nope. Can we go that one? There you go. We got that one there. And that one there. What did you take those with? Your phone? Oh, that's on paper, isn't it? You did the paper technique. Oh, bless. The next full eclipse in the UK, I believe, something like 2080. So I'm going to be probably not in my lifetime. 2030, 50, 2050. I think it's 2050. Don't know. Where's my thing? Stand by. When is the next full eclipse in the UK?
The next total solar eclipse visible from the UK will occur on September 23rd, 2090.
Did you hear that? September 23rd, 2090. So I was close. Halley's Comet will be here before that, I think. Hi, Jason. How's it going? Hello, Wayne from your lovely garden. There we go. So Maria's one of Esther's sisters. And we've got Donna here as well. Donna's one of Esther's other sisters. Hi, Donna. There's Donna. Watching you from 8 feet away. Very entertaining indeed. Ah, well, I get more entertaining the more of these I have inside myself. Do you know if you're gonna if they're doing any more F1 cars world champion models? I can't possibly comment on that, Mr. RoboVision. Some guy just threw milk, cheese, and butter at me. How dare he? Oh, in the office tonight, yeah, Crichton, only because it's so hot in the retro room. I'm a 3-story house, okay? Heat rises, so those rooms just cook. Even with the windows open, they cook. And I do have a fan in there, it's just like blowing warm heat around. So I try not to go up there in this sort of heat. Unfortunately, that's where my sister-in-law Donna's sleeping tonight, so she's in for a night. I've tried to make it as cool as possible for her, but otherwise I can set. I've got a tent, Donna. If you're watching this, I can set the tent up in the garden. You're welcome to sleep in the tent. But this room's got aircon, so you know, aircon, beer, and fine company. What more can I want? Tickets to Senna F1, Red Bull, or Schumacher fan home. There's another one. Didn't Pocker do a Fittipaldi? Was that Pocker? Who did the Fittipaldi? That was Pocker, I think. There's 4 that I've seen. My carpet mats are on the way from Mike Lane Mods for the 1989 Batmobile. Ah, awesome. They make the difference. My DeLorean stays unassembled until the mods come out. Yeah, I'd love to know when that's going to be. Wayne, I've pre-ordered the Back to the Future car from Fan Home, which is out now. Yes, I think there's going to be a whole heap of new people doing that. Dalek's coming out lovely, but if you saw the video, I did have a bend down the bottom, but as someone did point out, the skirt that goes right around the bottom of the brace does actually hide that little bit of imperfection I had on the corner. But it is a thin metal. So woe betide if you bend it. If you bend it, you're going to have a bad time. So no wonder they gave us gloves. They want you to be careful. You're going to go on to vacation in Boston, Massachusetts, and possibly Halifax, Nova Scotia. Wow. I know of those places because obviously I was near Boston. Nova Scotia, when I fly over in the plane from the UK, I always see Nova Scotia thinking, at least we can safely land at Nova Scotia if there's something wrong on the plane. I guess that's like the nearest airport. There must be an airfield somewhere in Nova Scotia, I'm sure. Poor old Bergdis. I don't think Bergdis is in chat tonight. Obviously, they had a full eclipse in Iceland. And I believe she drove 6 hours to go see the eclipse. And it was completely overcast. Gutting. Absolutely gutting. You can't watch what? Blade Runner? What are we talking about, Mr. Blue Sky? What can't we watch? I don't know. I don't know. You've scared me. What can't we watch? I don't know what we watch. I was wondering if you ever built the Mighty Strike Freedom. I didn't know. Wait, have you seen Flash Gordon? Are you being serious? If it's an 80s film, Adrian, I've seen it. I've not only seen Flash Gordon, I've seen the old serial, the black and white serials of Flash Gordon as well. Hi, Ed. How's it going? Since Amazon effed off the Broccoli family, it's done, sad to say. Someone made a prediction that the Broccoli family knew that it was going to be all messed up once they relinquished control of it. So that's why they killed Bond off at the end of the Broccoli era. So if anything goes pear-shaped after that, then they can say, look, oh, my Englishisms. If something goes pear-shaped, it means it goes bad. If something goes bad after that, then it means that, you know, they've done the full storyline, if they like. But I think it's going to be good. I think the new Bond's going to be good. But I really am convinced that the new Bond's going to be a complete unknown, or someone that's very limited in exposure at the moment. A lot of people will have to go on the Internet Movie Database or something to see who it is. The Karate Kid Trilogy 4. Have you got that? Yes, I have got the Karate Kid Trilogy. One of the first that I got, Jason. Although it didn't come with the next Karate Kid or Karate Kid Legends. Which obviously doesn't make it a trilogy then, Wayne, does it? It's the ale. It's the ale. That's the other confusing thing. A 1/6 scale Porsche, but only 7 kilograms. That doesn't make any sense to me at all. That weight sounds very weird. Is it plastic? I don't know. That's very light. Double shopper run, then X-Acto knife juggling. Is that my next thing? Yeah, if I hit 100,000 subscribers, what's a subscriber, Wayne? That's someone who writes things down, isn't it? 100,000 subscribers tonight, I will juggle blades. No, I won't do that. That's silly. Let me show you this. This is the bottle in question. You've seen this before. So when I get to 100,000 subscribers, and I am gonna, it's got a bit of dust on it. Let Now, our good friend Mrs. Spruverse got us this when we were in Louisville a few years ago. Now, this is the bourbon in question. It's a very, very limited edition bourbon. Now, this one says that it was this was from barrel number 12, and this bourbon whiskey dumped, that's the word it's used, dumped on the 3rd of the 11th, 21. Stored in warehouse, and it's got a warehouse number there, on Rick number 3, individually selected, filtered and bottled by hand, a 103 proof, 70 CLs. This is what I'm going to open. And obviously, being in Kentucky, you've got the horse of the Kentucky Derby there. Let me just show you that up close so you can see that. Look at that. But I am looking forward to that. The wax is still on this. But yeah, absolutely lovely. Now, this was... where did we get this from, Lou? The house... Wait a minute. This says Blanton's Gold Edition. That's what it says. I can't remember the name of the place. Was it like House of Bourbon or something? I can't remember the name of the place. But yeah, I've had my eye on that for a while, and I cannot wait to the 100,000 subscribers. We're at about 90,270 at the moment. So if anyone's watching the stream tonight and hasn't subscribed, now you know why you're subscribing. It's not to get notified of videos. It's to get that bad boy opened up. And just what Britain wants, Halley's Comet and Space Vampires. But you know, I still remember seeing Halley's Comet in the 80s. Big time. It was there for a week from what I remember. Every time we went out at night, you'd be able to see this blur in the sky. Am I ready for the new football season? If you're talking about the NFL, yes. There you go. There's Bergdis. Bergdis, we're just talking about your eclipse story. I'm gutted for you. I'm gutted for you. I have to shed with the air conditioner. What, is that where you're coming next? Oh, you want to sleep in here? Well, Dave's in here, Donny. You don't want to sleep in here. Dave's an almighty spider. There was a spider under my bins yesterday, I think it was. It's about the size of that, Donna. So you're welcome to sleep in here, but you'll have to deal with Dave. And I don't know if Dave wants a roommate at the moment. Oh, Mark. When the living room went all dark last night of excitement, I shouted out, "The eclipse is happening!" I then heard my wife shout at me, "It's just me standing in front of the window." Oh, dear. Oh, dear. He knows the new F1's car's coming. I haven't got a clue. I don't know what's coming. We will see. I'm sure some of these companies have got to be announcing some products soon. We've had hardly... Agora's the only people that have been announcing releases at the moment. I think it's going to be a watch this space. But that's me speculating. Who knows? You went into a school classroom with a teacher throwing words starting with T around. I missed there and then, but I tell you, I didn't see that coming. Yeah, 6 hours to get wet. That's just gutted. Was there many people there, Bergdis? I bet a lot of people were let down. And was it like a, what do they call it, like an organised meetup to watch the eclipse? Or was it just somewhere that you thought would be good to watch the eclipse? Halley's Comet, they go 2061, but apparently it will be a worse appearance than last time. Ah, last time was quite good from what I remember, but I was a kid. And my eyesight was probably a hell of a lot better then. By the time that comes around, I'm going to need some sort of bionic eyes or something. Wait, there's a Howl moment. Read 2001 Blade Runner. Do try and keep up with the staff meetings. Okay. Yes, you got it. Yes, I know what you mean now. I'm sorry. I will sit in a corner later and chastise myself. You're hoping to get to see the SX Atlanta also part of the White Star line, just like the Titanic. Oh, that'd be cool. Wayne, I posted up some pics of the eclipse last night on our multi-Spruverse chat. If you want to take a look. They were from Erdington, Birmingham. Okay, stand by. Erdington, Birmingham. Oh, I know Erdington. I'm reading it out thinking, why do I know that place? I know that place. Okay, stand by. Let's see what I can find. Unfortunately, for social media, for some reason on my computer, runs really slowly. When I'm posting my links to videos up, it takes an age. Not happening yet. 1 second. Yeah, it's taking an age. Let me try. Oh, right. Okay, yeah, I can see. Okay, let me show you these. 1 second. Let's go over to monitor cam. Here we go. That's a cloud. Is that all we got? Oh, there you go. Look at that. They're dramatic pictures. There you go. Look, that's what we're after. That looks like the opening to an American Wealth in London. Cool. I hope the new Bond will be a young British actor who can carry the franchise for another 20 to 30 years. But is Bond young? I always thought Bond is a 30, 40 something sort of thing. Although, you know, 30 is young, isn't it? I keep thinking that I'm young, but I'm not. I'm 50. I'm like I'm going into old age, surely. I'm 53. Look at my beard, for crying out loud. You'd like to see Henry Cavill play Bond? I think he's a bit too old now. He lost out the last time to audition to Daniel Craig. If he played Bond, I don't think he'd have the legs to, you know, do a 3 or 4 picture deal. Because you've got to remember, whoever's going to play Bond is going to get tied into a contract to do like a few movies. How many actors want to do that? That's why I can see it being their sort of like, what do they call it? Swan song. Their swan song project. And thinking about it, the only thing Daniel Craig's really done since Bond is the Knives Out trilogies, which I really like those. Do you remember when I first saw Star Wars? I do. I remember seeing it in Australia in a drive-in, 1977. The weather changed in the last hour before the eclipse and not enough time to gamble on a different spot. Ah, I see. You also had the Karate Kid 2010 versions. No, I can't be dealing with Will Smith and Jaden Smith, was it? Jackie Chan, perhaps, but no, that wasn't. I didn't like that. Has anyone heard that Jazz Inc. are making a 112 Batwing and a 112 Batmobile all built to pre-order and buy? Well, Jason, they already made a 1/6 Batwing, so it's hardly surprising they're going to make a smaller one. What model would I like to be released? I'd like another Star Wars model. I'd like either a Star Destroyer. I'm not too worried about AT-AT. B-Wing, I like the B-Wings. Snowspeeder, I'd love a Snowspeeder. Snowspeeder would be absolutely awesome. But an all singing, all dancing one, you know, not just like the Kenner toy. It's got to be doing, that's one of my favourite models in the Kenner range, the old Snowspeeder. Or even better, a speeder bike. You know, I'm talking, let's go a bit bigger. This big, a speeder bike, that could be cool. Or even a pod racer. I'd like to see a pod racer. I know people didn't like the prequels, but a pod racer could be a fun one as well. Perhaps one of the Star Wars ships. I'm giving everyone these. All these companies are there going, keep going, Wayne. Keep going. What else would you like to see? Messaged on Messenger. Stand by. But this chat just goes everywhere. Message on Messenger. A fantastic pics done by friend Andy on a Skywatcher Helios. Right, hang on. Is that? I'm going to go back to that message. Hang on. Oh, right, okay. Oh, wow. That is amazing. Wow. Right, okay. You're all like, what's he looking at now? Stand by. There you go. Look, check that out. Oh, my God. Okay, so I'm confused. Why has the sun got craters? Now, I can see the sun would have sunspots, but it really does look like the sun's got craters there. Which is a bit weird. The sunspots look right, but what on earth's going on there? Great picture, though. You're absolutely right. Absolutely brilliant picture. I do believe there will not be any more Star Wars models for Fanhome, as there are none on their website. Really? Is that the case for all territories, though, Nick? Because normally when I'm checking what Fanhome have got, I quickly go down the bottom and change to Austria, to USA, to all the other territories they're in. The 1/6 Mustang's going to enter an insert into a bar with a Perspex front. Wow. I've moved to my brother's and he has a bar, so we're designing a display with them. That's what you need to do. I think that's the best way to display it. I'm so gutted for Jim Strover, though. He's not in the channel tonight, I don't think. Because he was building the 1/6 Mustang and I fixed the switch for him. And I met him at the American football. I had soldered it. I bought it to him and everything. And in the last pack, he dropped the blooming thing. He dropped the 1/6 Mustang. Completely broke the front end. It was a write-off. Gutting. Absolutely gutting. I think the only F1 car I'd do is the Mansell Williams Red 5. Ooh. Interesting. Sauron's out in France. Bactese out. Sauron, I don't know. Would I do that? I love my Lich King. Sauron's almost the size of Vader, from what I understand, but Lich King's quite a good size, I think. I am really liking these figurine models, I have to say. Erdington Cricket. It's Edgbaston is the cricket. Ordered a Doc Holliday hat from Val Kilmer's merch store shortly after he passed. Arrived last month. Oh my god, the brim is a lot larger than I imagined. It's created by Tom Hurt, who made one for the movie. I've been addicted, you know, of this guy on, is it TikTok? It might be a reel, who actually makes hats. And his design of them. He did the Crocodile Dundee hat. He's done Indiana Jones fedora. Seeing how they, I'd be captivated. I could watch that for hours. I'll have to try and share some of his videos on social media because it is great to watch. The last one you might remember is the Halley Bop in the middle 90s. No, I watched the Halley's Comet in the 80s. That's the only one. I don't remember Halley Bop, I have to say. When was it? 84? 86? Something like that? I can't remember. Definitely I remember Halley's Comet. I was living in Essex at the time when that came up. Look, I'm 54, I'm 56. See, we're younglings. We are younglings. Anyone under the age of 70 is youngling. 70 to 80 is now middle age. According to the government and, you know, the pension. 70 to 80 is now middle age. 80 above, you're allowed to be called old age. We need a Clarkson's Farm Combine. How about a Clarkson's a Clarkson's Farm Lamborghini tractor? That could be fun. No, what a bunch of youngsters in here. 72 and loving life. See, you're middle age, that means. I class you as middle age, Ed. Darth Vader's TIE Fighter would be a great build. Yeah, but again, I see models, really detailed models of the TIE Fighter, and I think to myself, there's not really a lot on them, is there? There's not really much detail on them. Inside, I bet there is, but the actual design... Wait, you think how many they had to make? Yeah, just show it off, Liam. Tons of people. We found the campsite the best spot based on our maths. Not organised, but there's a few guys there who went swimming in the sea. Oh my god. Solar flares? Yeah, I suppose so. It's a great picture. There you go, look, picture taken with a hydrogen alpha light. Feel free to share the picture. I put it on Facebook page yesterday. Oh, the one where, yeah, let me see if I can find that. Hang on. I need to go have lessons in social media, Bergdis, I'm telling you. Because me trying to operate social media is not happening. It's not happening again now. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. Stand by. No, it's not happening, Bergdis. The page is hung. Oh well, there you go. Thank you anyway. Pretty sure Wayne won't want an AT-AT. Nah, I can't be building 4 legs. I did the 4 wings thing on the thing, but nah, not 4 legs. Your mate was convinced his house was haunted, called in an exorcist, but when he got the bill, said it was extortionate and refused to pay. His house was repossessed. You know, that's just reminded me of that Leslie Nielsen take on The Exorcist. Remember Repossessed? I really thought that film was funny. I love that film. Repossessed. The area on the sun are solar flares as well as sunspots. It was on our local news. Wow. Crazy. So does that mean, like, if we've got that big solar flares that we're going to get, like, strange things happening in the next week or so? You know, like Maximum Overdrive. Wasn't that a comet passing in Maximum Overdrive? Solar flare comes and screws everything up. Look, someone else would definitely love to see a snow speeder. It's not just me, right? You got sent a message from Van Home, stopping the Falcon last chance. All right, just checking you are still awake and not AI. I'm not AI. Yeah, there you go. 86, Halley's Comet. I don't remember Halley Bop, I have to say. I remember Halley's Comet big time, though. I spent the day walking around Edinburgh Fringe. You feel really old. The Fringe is great. You want to see... Are you still there, Alex? See the Dark Room with John Robertson. He does the Fringe every year. Absolutely brilliant. You now have solar filter envy. That could be cool. A 112 Imperial probe droid. Well, I think, you know how big my Vincent is? I mean, you can't really tell when you're here unless you actually come to the workshop. Vincent's about this big, about half the size. I'd like to see a Pro Droid that big. That could be cool. Yeah. A model of Serenity. Yeah, that could be cool. The Sulaco. Any Battlestar Galactica ships, past, present, to name but a few. Yeah, a lot of the sci-fi ships, definitely. You were 7 in 1986. I would have been a 13. 13 in 1986. With all the worryings of aliens visiting Earth, NASA has sent up a rocket with a sorry message attached to it. They've called the rocket Apollo G. The Liberator from Blake 7, where there's an awesome Liberator at the moment from Cosmic Scale Models. And if you watch my good friend Andy Preston, he's got a YouTube channel as well. He's building a ginormous Liberator at the moment. Amazing job he's doing. It's so big it needs metal supports inside it. But have I got a link for that? You might like this. Let me see if I can find a link. Andy's a very talented guy. Andy's the guy that did the Hail Mary that you saw at the show, at the spacecraft model show. Here we go. So here is the link. If you do watch his channel, comment and say you were sent over from the World of Wayne channel. That'd be lovely. But yeah, he's that's his channel there. And if I go onto the monitor cam, look, see, ginormous Liberator. This is his Hail Mary build. Great channel, great guy. Andy Preston's Miniature Replicas. You will like that channel if you like sci-fi builds, big time. You sent it me on Messenger. Thank you. Let's try it. that doesn't mean I'm going to be able to open it, but this. Okay, I'm going to try again. Hang on. Right, your name's come up. That's a good sign. And here we go. Right, so where's the monitor cam? There we go. That's the weather. That's what Bergdis got to experience. All ready for it, but that's gutted. Absolutely gutted. I'm sorry that happened though, Bergdis. Maxima Overdrive was a spaceship in orbit that was destroyed by missiles off screen. Was it? I thought it was a comet. In the book, I'm sure it's a comet passing. A comet's passing and all the machines started to go haywire because of it. I'm sure the Stephen King book was a comet. I can't remember the film. All I remember about the film was the Green Goblin on the front of a lorry. Especially the Sol is just ball of hydrogen doing nuclear fusion. Everyone's saying how old they were in 1986. That's just making me feel really old. Do you want to feel really old? I'm going to make you feel really old. At the moment, I am 53 years old. Do you realise Pat Morita, Mr. Miyagi, in the Karate Kid 1, was 51 years old. I am older than Mr. Miyagi was in the Karate Kid 1. 51 he was. Crazy. When I was at a past job, there was a co-worker doing a crossword. They asked me what was a 3-letter word for our nearest star. I told them it was the sun, and they asked me, that's a star? Oh, the education today. You wasn't even born when the Halley's Comet was around. Oh, bless. I'd like to see Voyager come back. Can you imagine that? Voyager now is like billions of miles from Earth, and then suddenly it's like, hang on, it's coming closer. It's coming back. That would drive the scientific community absolutely crazy. What's turned it round? Why has it come back? That would be something else. That would change the life. Yet 1973, that's when I was born. That was the best year. Best year to be born, 1973, because we were at the influential stage of our teenage years going into the 80s. That's why the 80s is very influential for me. That's why I can see things like people born in the 60s have really got a fascination with the later 60s and the 70s. Things like your Lost in Space, your Star Trek, your Time Tunnels, your that sort of thing. I can see why that is. Anywhere from like the 8 to say 18 era. That's the sweet spot there. Everyone's now calculating what year would that make it for me? Because I don't know, kids that are born in the 90s, what's their inspirations now? That would be early 2000s. I can't think much that pop culture from 2000s. That was completely past my era. Voyager returned to sender, address unknown. We're older than Wilford Brimley in the thing. Oh my God. Well, the other one that I found out was, hang on. Stand by. I can't remember the actor who played him. How old? Oh, well, stand by. I've got to find this out. Oh my God, hang on. I want to know how old, stand by, was Wilfred Brimley. How old was Wilfred Brimley in Cocoon?
Wilfred Brimley was 49 years old when cast and turned 50 during filming.
49 years old, he turned 50. Well, that's crazy. The old guy in Cocoon. He was 50 when Cocoon was filmed. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to send you all to bed tonight all depressed. Just remember, we're supposed to all be living past 100 nowadays. That's what my pension says. It says that we live to 100 now, so they make our state pension years later and later now, because we're growing older as a generation. Is it bionics? No. Is it breakthroughs in medicine? Probably not. We just seem to be more versatile. Give it another 100 years, probably be living to 150. You're born in 71. Ah, you're older than me. You like the original Tomorrow People? That was cool. Night, John. 50s were the best decade. I saw the 50s well. 21 days of it. We tried to deliver your voice Spacecast, but no one's in to sign for it. You shouldn't have used Yodel. I've started something here, haven't I? It will be 49 years since Elvis died in 3 days' time. Oh my God. That's crazy. I'm not sure how to describe this, but as a kid, I loved 2D classic cartoons like Transformers, Smurfs, G.I. Joe, and others. And my cousin was born in 2016. He loves the live-action adaptations. Yeah, I can't get over that. Well, it's a good night for me. Take care, John. See you later, mate. You're 54, suffered a stroke. That's not good, but enjoying life. That's the main thing. That's the secret. People ask me, what's the secret of life? And the secret of life, to me, is to not let the small things bother you. Lou said it. Don't sweat the small things. No. Lou, tell me what to say. Don't sweat the small things. I can't remember what you said, but it was inspirational. It was inspirational. Just try to find happiness in everything. I guess that's what it all comes to. He's gonna write me now what the state. I can't remember, Lou. I've had half a pint of ale. How am I possibly supposed to remember things like that? All fun. Okay, peeps. Don't be some sort of problem, be all the problem. Yeah, that's it. Right, peeps, I am going to go. Thank you for joining me tonight. As I said, tomorrow we've got John Wick Mustang, and I'm going to be starting the week next week with the SAS Jeep. So if I can get one of them done, a Jeff Gordon, and a Toyota Supra next week, I'll be a happy man. We'll have to see. It's all fun. Anyway, Christopher Lloyd was 46 in Back to the Future. Now I'm ending on that much. I'm ending on that stream big time. Anyway, listen, thank you for joining me tonight. Take care, everyone. I'll see you later.